Today, my papa's making another video on a gun. This Marlin 60 right here is mine now, so if he tells you any different, don't believe him. Hey Papa, I started your video. You can come in here and finish it now.
Hello everybody. You got Garage Guy coming to you, and I gotta admit that little Jaylee's something else. She earlier this evening she talked me into giving her that Marlin Model 60. Now she knew I was going to make a video here later tonight, and she said, "Papa, I got something I want to say." And I said, "Sure." She said, "I want to say it on video where everybody can hear it. And then I want you to set up that Marlin rifle where everybody can see it. And then I'm going to say what I'm going to say." And then she told me I could go ahead and do my video. So she said what she had to say. She made it plain as day. And oh boy. Sometimes it's hard to refuse a grandchild, but I tell you what. That little young'un has more common sense when it comes to firearms than most adults do, and I'm glad she's taken an interest in it. That's something her and we've done before, and we'll continue doing into the future. But, oh boy. Well, here it is. This video is about my new Canik TP9SF Elite. I picked up earlier today at Highland Arms in Abingdon, Virginia. It come to me at a cost of $455, and that's including tax. I don't think it's too bad a deal. This video is just going to be like an overview, my thoughts and opinions. There's already been unboxings. There's people's opened up the box, showed what all it comes with. They've done a takedown and reassembly. I'm not going to bore everybody with that. I'm just going to give you my thoughts, opinions, and concerns about this firearm, because here a couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video called "Do the Research Before You Buy a Firearm." I got a lot of good feedback on it, and I got to be honest, I kind of wished I'd researched this more before I bought it, because I do have concerns, and I'll get to those here in a minute. Now, as far as the things that come with this firearm, the things I don't need, I've already taken them out. And I do that with any firearm I have. Anything I'm not going to use, I take them out. I'll put into a sandwich bag. I'll mark it. I got a marker here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Canik Elite. And what I don't need, I put in here in a sandwich bag, put into the bottom of the safe. In case I ever get an offer to sell it, everything that come with it original will be included. Now, all I'm going to keep with me is the barrel cleaning brush, the owner's manual, and the magazines. And it does come with a Serpentine paddle holster. It's alright. I tried it on earlier this evening. If I'm going shooting and this is the only firearm I take, then I'll use this. It's not that bad, but then again, it's not the best. Some people kind of wish that, you know, they didn't even include this with the deal, but I got no problem with it, you know. It works. We'll slide this out of the way. This is a really nice carrying case. Got some good styrofoam padding in here. This firearm is not going to get scratched up. The owner's manual. Got good color pictures, got good diagrams, very easy to understand, pretty much layman's terms. Like I was saying before, I do the research before I buy a firearm. This one, I had seen James Yeager's introductory video. I guess Jonik let him have the honors since he is a big customer of theirs, and he has his tactical response business there in Middle Tennessee. And well, he's a big believer in Jonik firearms. He hasn't really had any problems with them, so you know, what better person to introduce this new entry into the Jonik line. Now you may hear me call this Jonik, Janik, or Canik. It's all the same. Alright, safety check. Nothing in the mag well. Nothing in the chamber. We're safe. These magazines, 215 round Metgar mags. Metgar makes some of the best magazines in the industry. They're steel, they got a matte black finish, and they feel really solid. Jonik made a good decision getting Metgar to supply the magazines. Now I got my Upalula magazine assist tool here. This does come with a magazine assist tool, but hey, why use that when you got one of these, alright? They talk about perfection. Well, this thing gonna be hard to improve upon this because it doesn't need no improvements. I'm a big fan of Upalula mag loaders. I've always heard good things about the ergonomics on a Jonik, and it's no different with this Elite model. I mean, the fit and finish is nice. You got stippling on the back grip panel. Of course, that's interchangeable, but that one felt so good I'm not even going to try the other. I don't need to. You got a little bit of stippling here on the sides, but it's enough if your hands get sweaty. It's not going to come out of your hand. You got some stippling on the front, and you got some lines here, grip lines on front of the trigger guard. Now the trigger guard itself, it's big enough for a gloved finger. So shooting this firearm in wintertime, cold weather, shouldn't be a problem. You do have a Glock style trigger safety on here, as indicated by the red part right here. If you don't depress that, you're not going to pull the trigger back. Also, what got me to this was the trigger pull itself. This is a really sweet trigger. You got some take up, come back, you hit that wall. Good, clean, solid break. But here is the kicker. Look and listen at this reset. That's short. One more time. That's sweet. Makes for some really good follow-up shots. You also have the worn tactical sights. You got the blacked out notched sight on the back. It is adjustable. And on the front you got the red fiber optic sight. And you do have a spare red fiber optic rod that comes with the firearm. You have slide catch levers on both sides. The magazine release, you can switch to either side. This firearm is very friendly for lefties. Now, I probably haven't sat here and told you what you haven't already heard. Alright, what I pretty well told you is common knowledge. Now, here's the concerns I was talking about. Alright, I said Yeager did the first introductory video to this model here. Then he did a series of 4 or 5 videos. Now, they were having, a few ejection problems here and there, erratic ejection patterns, and Century Arms says this gun performs better with higher powered ammo rounds. Well, that goes for about any firearm, unless it's specifically stated not to use plus P. Well, a lot of people have been having a truckload of problems with this, and they figure maybe it's the extractor, or maybe the guide rod's too heavy for it, or, along those lines right there. Let me name off some video channels here. Honest Outlaw Reviews, 1776 or Bust, Canik Fanatic. Those guys have had some problems. 1776 or Bust is now going around with Century Arms over this because of the erratic ejection and failures to eject. He's currently got his sent back to Century Arms, and they don't seem to be keeping up good lines of communication with him. Honest Outlaw Reviews and the Canik Fanatic, they're saying this is not what they expected. Deneo65, I left a comment on his video, and he said watch out for mag pinch down here at the bottom. And another fellow was talking about the thumb knuckle soreness, where I guess where you hold it up like this and you're firing, and after a while that right here catches that part of the thumb knuckle and gets really sore. Now, a lot of people would say, well, maybe adjust your grip somewhat, but a lot of people like to shoot right up there with that thumb knuckle. It's eventually going to happen. Now, I haven't fired this gun yet, and when I do, I'll be making a video about if that happens or any other things that might go on. Mr. Guns and Gear, he fired, I don't know, maybe, what was it, 500,000 rounds through his. I think he limp-wristed it once and had a failure to eject, and that was about it. After Yeager got 1,000 rounds through his, he let a buddy of his borrow it, had no problems with it. And then Such 00 did one of his videos, and he covered about everything on it. Didn't have no problems with it, but when he was shooting it and was holding it out like that, he does his videos shooting from different angles, camera angles, which is good. Well, I noticed the majority of his rounds are barely clearing his right forearm. And I figured, well, that's not a good thing. It ought to be shooting those shell casings out 3, 4 o'clock, shooting them way out there. He never really made any mention of it. Usually his videos are pretty thorough, but maybe he thought it, wasn't important enough to mention or talk about. So there you have that. Now, like I said, I have my concerns about that. Year before last, I sold a perfectly good Gen 4 Glock 19 because of erratic ejection patterns, and to be honest with you, I wish I kept that thing. I regret selling it, but I'm not going to give up on this one so easy. The impression I have from watching the other videos is this, that this is a firearm that truly needs to be broken in. Not no 200 or 300 or 500 rounds, not 700 or 800. I'm going to keep going with this till I get at least 1,000 to 1,200 rounds through it and see what happens then. I really want to like this firearm. I've got a really good gut feeling about it. I mean, this is a solidly made firearm. The balance is awesome. Plus, it is one sweet looking little pistol. The serrations here on it, they're not too aggressive, but they're very grippy, and you also have serrations on the front. About the 4-inch barrel here, I'd say. Pretty much about the same as a Glock 19 size-wise. Top of the slide right here isn't as thick as a Glock, but right here, I don't know, it might be about the same, but the ergonomics on this grip, sweet. I do have my concerns about it, and I'm going to be firing a few rounds through here tomorrow, and hopefully later this week I'll have that video uploaded, depending on the weather, you know, if I'm able to get out and shoot. But I thought I'd bring this first impressions and thoughts video to you. This feels like a winner. My gut tells me it's a winner. But from the reviews, I wished I'd, you know, kind of held off, waited maybe about 6 months, and seen if anybody else is having these common problems, seen if Canik makes any changes to the guide rod or extractor or ejector or whatever. But I guess, like they say, I'm going to go with the flow. Alright. Well, listen, this is Garage Guy. I'm going to get off here. Going to the other room. Jay Lee's watching a movie, and I'm going to join her. Hope you enjoy the video.